Hello, Doug Judy here. Happy Manic Monday on the morning walk. Hey, somebody mentioned to me recently about, like all these arguments that happen in the chamber and these adventures with landmarks. I've experienced some of them myself. And since they say they changed the reward distribution where there's participation rewards and capture rewards and things like that, right? So first off, when you look at a landmark, all the groups in the chamber can get those rewards, okay? The only difference is is going to be the finance buff and probably group points or gold. I don't know, what is it? Something like that. So when I look at this, when I have a contribution reward, that means I participated in the battle, and a chamber reward, which means my chamber captured it. My color flag captured it, right? I'm pretty sure there's a finance buff in there somewhere. It doesn't say it on this particular one, but later in the game, the finance buffs are really small. Maybe Tokyo 1, it matters. But later in the game, it's the same number, but it just doesn't have much of an impact. And keep in mind that you only get SSR promote cards every few stops, right? So the number of SSR promote cards you get from touring, from having that finance buff, is really low until you hit level 2005, I think, something like that, and then become all SSR promote cards. But even still, the number of them that you get versus touring and all that, it's pretty low, So my point is that touring is not a huge impact, okay? It does not have a huge impact in the game for most people. We're arguing over, so let's take the finance part out of this equation, okay? We're arguing, not us, we're fine, but some people are arguing probably over these rankings here. So here's the reward. You notice it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and then 6 through 10. So presumably beyond 10, you get nothing, right? And what I hear about often is the smaller groups want to, take more of these landmarks that give you points, right? And presumably they want to take them from the large groups, and they say, oh, these large groups are greedy because we get nothing. But here's the thing. If you're not even ranking in the top 10, what does it matter, right? If you're gonna, like in this case, from what I hear, there's a group that's somewhere between 11 and 20, let's just say, because I don't want to mention names, saying we deserve more. And furthermore, there's two groups that are in the 6 to 10 range that are arguing over who gets what, even though they're going to get the same fucking rewards, right? Because none of them are in the top 5, and they're probably not going to reach the top 5. Because the top 5 are those big behemoth groups, right? So I guess that's the point I was trying to make, is that, really what should be done, in my opinion, is that the smaller groups, if you're not going to rank in the top 10 for the group rewards, you should be giving the landmarks to the people that actually have a chance of ranking, right? Because for them, it matters. For you, it's the difference. It's between 0 rewards and 0 rewards, So what is the solution for this? Well, you would have to look and see. Each group would have to look and see what is their position, in rankings, and what is their potential position in rankings, right? Does it impact them? And you can look at the points here. If I click the little dot, you can look at occupation uses and how many points you get, right? You can add up your subway buffs and all that for the personals, and your kills. You could just assume the max amount of kills, fan kills. So see if it makes an impact. It's the smaller groups love to call the bigger ones greedy, but actually it's the other way around. The smaller groups, it's a 0 impact for them, but they still want to capture these landmarks, thus reducing the rank and possibility that the larger groups will actually earn something in their own chamber. It's almost like sabotage, It's almost like the small groups want to sabotage or hinder the big ones without contributing much. And also it having zero impact for them. So that's my rant for today, okay? Look at your own position in the rankings for your group and for yourself. Before you decide what you want, right? Think about, does it make an impact? You know? And if it doesn't make an impact, well, who cares? Then just give it up. Okay, rant over.